get this show on the road. So welcome to day 2, class number 2 of how to play Frogger like a world champ. So before I get started into any new material, there are a couple of things I wanted to stress and correct from class number 1. So the first is scoring. I had a discussion. Here, let me reset this game here. Reset the game. So I had a discussion about scoring and how the scoring goes, and it's 20,000 for every 5 levels, which we discussed that 5 levels is how many there are, and then it ramps back around to level 1, and that it takes all 5 levels to get to 20,000, and then I had a little bit of math on that. So basically, what I was saying was totally wrong. It's roughly 4,000 per level. So level 1, 4,120. Level 2, if we play until level 2, you'll see I'll have roughly 8,000. And then, oops, if you don't die. So 8,000, I'll have 8,000 roughly. So just bear with me. Right there, 8,100. So 4,000 per level. 5 levels, 4,000 is 20,000. So if I were to keep going, I don't want to bore you all to tears, but you would end up at roughly 20,000 after 5 levels. Okay, so I had some weird logic in my previous course in lesson 1. I don't know what I was thinking. I was messed up. It's 4,000 per level, so you can pretty much count on it, on roughly 4,000. Now you can go slow, and then you won't get 4,000 level. You'll get less than 4,000 level. You can go fast, and you will get slightly more than 4,000 level. It really is based on the speed you go, because the biggest contributor to your points that you can affect is the time bonus. So you can push it and go a little bit over 20,000 level, and you can slow down and go a little bit less than 20,000 level. It just depends on the situation. So right now I am going kind of fast. Yeah. But there also is a limit to how fast you can go. Depending on the traffic and depending on the logs, you will eventually just have to wait. And yeah, how many lady frogs you pick up, for instance, that can affect it as well, a little bit. Not exactly sure. Yeah, it looks like I should have gone on that one. Well, let's see what we get here. We'll get that there, and then we'll get this here. What the heck was that? That was not what I wanted to do. I think I'm holding my hand right. So, alright, so then you watch the score. We're at 15,5. So we're a little over 4. We should be at 14,000. But this is level 5, so I'll probably be a little over 20,000 when I get finished. But I'll get my bonus frog. I'll get my bonus frog at 20,000. And then you'll see, so kind of obvious, well, not obvious, but I'm demonstrating the roughly 4,000 per level. And all the way to 20,000. Okay, and when I'm done with this, we'll discuss one more thing that I wanted to talk to you about. Fix, correct, fill in, whatever, from the first class. So let's take a look. 19.5, so a little under, surprised. But let's get to 20,000 so you can see the extra frog. 19.6, this is going to get to 20, there, extra frog, showed up. So there you go. Alright, the other thing I wanted to comment on was the top level. So let me reset the game again. Yesterday, I'm sorry, session 1, I went through each layer of everything, and then I got to the top row of logs, and I didn't finish the discussion on the top row of logs. So the top row of logs on the first screen is all logs. Second screen, I believe it's the second through fourth. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe the second through fourth, one log alternates with an alligator back and forth. So let's see. So this is all logs here, and you can see that. Let's get to the second screen here and see that you should see one log change to a gator, I think. Or does that not happen in total? No. Alright, I'm wrong. Darn it. Oh no, oh, there it is. There it is. So, let's watch that gator. That gator goes around, and then out comes a log. So, it alternates. Gator, log, gator, log. So we should be getting a gator. There's the gator again. On the gator. And then the log comes out. And then, so what happens is it alternates. Gator, log, gator, log, gator, log. Then, once you get to level 6, it stays gator. Always a gator. Gator, gator, gator. It never switches back to a log. So let's get to level 2 here. Okay, so all logs. I won't even play, we'll just watch. We'll just watch the logs up there. Log, log, and now it's going to be gator log. Gator log, and then log log. Log log, right. So now let me go to much more advanced further in the game. This is what, level 3. So let me jump to here. Okay. Well, this might be an anomaly. Alright, gator. This is much further in the game. So, gator log. I think it's going to be gator log again. Gator log, right. So, the anomaly that I mentioned is that when you start a new level, it may reset as just logs and not gators. But that goes away immediately, well before you can get up there. So you'll never really know. And then it goes to this, gator log, gator log. Okay. So those are the two things I wanted to clarify from class number 1. Okay. All right, so let's start talking about strategy here. Okay. So I'm going to reset the game again. Reset the game, and we're going to run. So strategy. So we're going to start at the very top. Okay, we're going to start about the holes. So getting holes 2, 3, 4, and 5 are the easy holes. Hole 1, the left-hand hole, is by far the most challenging hole. Because sometimes the logs and the turtles don't even line up. So for instance, this one here, I couldn't have made it because there was a space. So if you're on the wrong set of turtles, you can't, you might not be able to make it into this first hole. It makes it really challenging. It can be, the very first hole can be very, very hard, especially at the higher levels. This is level 1. This is the very beginning. Even at the very beginning, though, it can be different. I find myself struggling sometimes to get that hole over there on the left. So let's try it again. Let's try the left-hand hole, except this time it's... Okay, so now we've changed speeds. We're at speed 2, and again, we'll get to that later. But now I have to get to these turtles. So this turtle, okay, so this is going to work great. This one here, it's tough. So, but if we go to something harder, like, okay, this is beginning speed level 4. You can see the first hole is much more challenging because the logs aren't always there. And you have to make sure you're on the right turtles to get to that log, because those wouldn't have made it. So this one makes it. So that first hole is really by far the hardest hole. The rest of the holes are really pretty simple by comparison. You can get on logs and you just jump right in, or you can get on you'll get on the gators too. Let me show that. So the gators, you can jump on the gator, not a problem, not an issue. Just don't jump on the mouth. That's when you die. That's when you jump on the mouth of a gator. So you can't jump on the mouth. Let me demonstrate that. Well, I'll demonstrate that in a minute. So, but if we get even harder, and we go here, actually, let me go here. Okay, so this is level 5. So the top row is a log. See the log? Well, that goes away. First lap around, okay, now it's a gator, and it's going to be a gator forever. Well, just be a gator. One gator. Alright, so... And you have to jump on the back of the gator to get into the hole. Okay, now you have to know which turtle is going to intersect that first hole. If you don't get on the right turtle, you're never going to make it. So the key is knowing which turtle to jump onto to be able to get that first hole. Now the second hole, it's a lot easier, a lot more relaxed. Third hole is easier yet. Fourth hole and fifth hole is actually can be difficult as well. Not so much at the 5th level. It's really not a lot different at the 5th level, but at the 4th level and the 3rd level, the 5th hole can be difficult. So if we go to, let me go to level 4. Let me go to here. So if you hold on, let me try a different one. want to get to a level where the gators are coming out up in the holes. There. Okay. So the gators are coming out now. So if you're on this on the gator on the top row, and a gator appears, like for instance, if I wanted to go into 4, well, no, I can't make it because the gator is there. So, terrible job of explaining this, but if you're trying to get to 5, it can be really there's a trick to getting it into 5. So, and I'm kind of jumping around here, so let me just stop. Let me just stop and start over again, and actually start with the real lesson for the day. Okay, so I'm kind of being scatterbrained here 15 minutes in, but all right. So I want to show all the different ways of dying. Okay, now in my count, there are 10 ways to die. 10 ways to die. Some people would probably argue with me because they think they're two or three of the ways are the same, but I'm still gonna argue that they're not. So let me go here. Okay, so way number 1 to die is to get run over by a car. Any car is that's one way to die. Okay. Now, way number 2 to die is to jump into the water. Okay, that's 2. Way number 3 to die is to jump onto the sinking turtles and be on them when they sink. Now, I argue that that is different than jumping into the water because it is a different action. Jumping into the yes, they're both drowning. Jumping into the water is an action that you take. Jumping onto turtles and then drowning is just time moving on. Okay? So that's 3. 4th way of dying is the snakes. Okay? You get killed by the snakes. Now, the snakes, you need to be aware. You can jump on the snakes. You can jump on the snakes. But you can't touch their tongue. If you touch their tongue, that's when you die. So you can think about, where is the snake's venom? The snake's venom is in the tongue. So, okay, so that's snakes. So that's the 4th way of dying. So the 5th way of dying is the otters. Alright, so let's see if I can get killed by an otter here. Otters are these little things. That right there is an otter. And that was not me dying by the otter. What the otters do is they will, if you're at the edge of a log, they come out of the water and they eat you. Really not very pleasant. How it rises up. They're so cute when they're in the water, and then they rise out of the water with these sharp little fangs. And it's just a gruesome death to get eaten by an otter. So I've demonstrated it several times. I think you get the idea. But, okay, so let's see. I'll talk about avoiding otters later. All right. That's 5. So 6. So 6. Let me get a fresh one here. This one here. So the 6th way to die is to just float off the screen. Float off the screen, you can't wrap around. While the cars and the snakes and logs and turtles all wrap around, you, as a frog, cannot wrap around. You die. Okay? So that's 6. Okay, so 7. Let's see, 7. The 7th way is what we were talking about earlier, and that is jumping into the mouth of a gator on that top row. Okay, the gators only show up on the top row. They don't show up. Gosh darn it. I'm not being as careful as I should be. The gators show up on the top row. See, I jumped into the mouth. But you can get close to the mouth and still be alive. So let's see. So this is about as close as you can go. I might be able to go a tiny bit closer. But let's see. Let me wrap around here. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so that's 7. That's the 7th way. The 8th way is a gator in a hole. And that's different than a gator. Yes, they're both gators, but the gator in the hole is... there, see, I hit the gator in... Oh! But it gave it to me. That is weird. That's an anomaly right there. I'm glad you were able to see that. That's where you are just at the edge of the gator, and it just disappears, and it gives it to you, but you still lose a life. Okay, there I hit the gator. I didn't lose. That's it. I just died. So, what to notice though about? Let me see if this is gators or not. So the holes alternate between gators and flies. So on one level, you'll get gators in the holes. The next level, you get flies. Now flies are very convenient. Okay, so I want because you get points. Gators, you don't, you die. So, and since it's every other level, that means that on level 5, which is by far the most challenging, and we discussed that, it alternates on level 5. So you go. Okay. Alright. So let's talk about the gators. We're still talking about the gators in the holes. So if you watch the holes, you'll see the gator comes out a little bit and then comes out all the way. The little bit, you can still jump into the hole. But when the gator is fully out, you die. So it's kind of like a stop sign. Yellow means danger. Red means stop. When the gator's out just a little bit, it means danger. And then it's all the way in the hole, and it means you're going to die. So you want to be careful. And if the gator's there, you're okay, so long as it's only partially out. Now, it's very risky, because when it's partially out, and then you try to go into the hole, if you jump in at the same time that it... then you're going to die. So it's really best to avoid going into the hole at all where the gator is there. Sometimes you can't avoid it. Sometimes you just have to take the chance because there's just it's too tight. You run out of time, what have you. So you just have to try. You have to go for it. All right. So that is 8. That's dying number 8. Dying number 9 is actually if you miss the hole altogether. So right there, you hit the hedge. Now obviously that was right in the middle. I have on many occasions I have died by all of these where you just miss the hole a little bit. You go too soon or you go too late. Is typically what happens, how you die that way. So that was too soon. So if I go here and I went too late. Okay, you die. So that is 9. That's number 9. Number 10. You've seen a lot. 10 is you run out of time. So if you just wait, you'll run out of time. And now, there are times when you die because you run out of time. There's certain levels, certain speeds, and certain configurations of the snakes that make it really, really, really difficult to make it in the allotted time. And sometimes you get very, very close, and you finish it with just a second or two left, or you're just a little bit over, and you end up dying because you run out of time. Typically, the reason that'll happen is you're on level 5 and you're trying to get the last hole, and you're on a particular speed where the gators up top are moving very slowly. Well, anyway, level 5 open, and as you go by it, a gator shows up in the hole, and then you have to go about a whole another lap, which takes too long, and you end up dying because of time. Right? You just run out of time. Very frustrating. Very, very annoying. That's the ultimate of a slow death, is to run out of time. So there you go. 10 ways of dying. Run over by the car, jump into water, jump on sinking turtles, get on a snake, an otter will get you, floating off the screen, gators in the top row, gators in the hole, missing the hole, and time. Alright, let's see, so otters. Let me talk about otters just a little bit more, okay? Otters, you die from otters. Fine, whatever. The otters, you die if you're at the very edge, like that. However, if you are not sitting on the edge of the log or turtles, or wherever the otter is coming for. Let's see, there's otter there. If you're sitting away from the edge, let's see, trying to find an otter here. Alright, so, okay, there I died because of time, but I didn't die because of the otter. It might have been challenging to see, but let's wait for an otter to show up, then I can show you. There, see, there was an otter there, and I didn't die, because I'm not close enough, because I could have jumped there. Okay? So, if you're away from the edge, the otter can't get you. You have to be at the edge of the log in order for the otter to get you. So, it's pretty simple to avoid the otters. Just, rather than hanging out at the very edge of the log, and I jumped off the log, rather than hanging out at the very edge of the log, at the back of the log, you jump in one. It's very simple, very basic. Rather than hanging out here, you hang out there. Right, I see that otter coming. That's too far away. It's not going to get me, but I just jump in one. So that's how you avoid the otters. Everything else is pretty obvious. I already talked about the gators in the hole, where you can't do that. Time, yeah. Okay. So that is dying. There are no other ways to die. It's the only way to die. There's 10 ways, which is a lot. You have to keep them all in mind while you're playing. But if you can avoid those 10 ways of dying, then you'll be golden. And you'll beat my score. You'll play an 8-hour game and beat my score, which I think would be great. 11 is when the game glitches. Oh yeah, so I got a guy here saying JAS717. 11 is when your game glitches. Unfortunately, the computer I'm using isn't quite powerful enough to keep up with my streaming, and so occasionally it will lag. And I'm sorry, I could buy a new computer. I actually researched how for it to not freeze like that. Hopefully it was only for a minute, and it cleared up. So let me know if it's okay. It's unfortunate. I'll review the tape, and if it's too bad, then I'll redo it. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to timing. So, as we discussed, the time down here, this timer down here, counts down from 60 seconds. Okay. So like, oh cool, I have a minute to finish each level then, right? No, you don't have a minute. You have 60 Frogger time units. A Frogger time unit is less than a second. So 60 Frogger time units is actually 32.2 seconds. So it's a Frogger time unit is just over or under, I guess, over a half a second. So you only have 32.2 seconds to finish each level. So you have to. It's just this is the way it is. You have to keep that in mind. You don't really have to keep in mind, but if you're thinking, man, these minutes are going by fast, well, that's because they're not minutes. They're Frogger minutes. And Frogger minutes aren't the same as real-time minutes. So 60 Frogger seconds, which is what you have here. It starts at 60. 32.2 seconds. Okay? Now, it will give you a warning when there's only 10 Frogger time units left. You're cruising along, and you get down to 10 seconds there. 10. Okay? So that you saw the warning. The warning just turns to red. And then you get 10 seconds left. So if we were to do this, we would count. Just wait for it to get to red, and then we count. Okay? I don't know why I'm even up here. I should just be waiting here. This makes it easy. All right, so let's watch it. Okay, 2, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Time over. 10 seconds. So you get 10 seconds after the warning. Okay. So that's time. Now, let's finish a level. When you finish a frog, let's watch. When you finish a frog, finish, and it comes down here, there's 0 time in between a frog home and a frog down here. So there is no rest. There's no break. The 60 Frogger time unit countdown starts immediately when you get a frog in the hole up there. Except for the last hole. When you finish the last hole, you get, what do you get? Let me check here. You get 5.5 seconds, 5.5 real seconds in between when you go in there and when you start. So you can, like, stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting too fast. So you get 5.5 seconds rest in between every screen. Okay, so that's it. That's all you get, and that's it. There's no other time. There's no other break. There's no intermission. There's no Ms. Pac-Man style intermission or Pac-Man style intermission. This is just your traditional gameplay with that 5.5 second break in between every screen. I'll do it one more time so you can see. 5.5 seconds. Taking a long time. Okay. Notice I went right over the snake. I was close, but not quite. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. 5.5 seconds. Okay. Okay. That's timing. So let me talk a little bit more about timing. I talked about how 20,000 points is after 5 levels. Well, it turns out, if you're just playing normal play, just playing along, not doing anything weird, not doing anything crazy, it will take you 30 minutes for 100,000 points. So the game rolls over at 100,000 points. So the game is designed to be played for a half an hour, and then the points roll over to the whole machine rolls over to 0. So in my world record, I had my little flip chart that I had. That's the 100,000 counter. Roughly every 30 minutes. Very, very close. Every 30 minutes. So you can tell my world record score of 1.25, 1,256,000. At 30 minutes every 100,000, that's a 6.5 hour game, roughly. And that's pretty close. That's pretty close. I employed a technique, which I will talk about in a future class, that caused the game to be a little bit longer than that. But it's still roughly that. So basically, since it's 100,000 every 30 minutes, it's 1,000,000 points in 5 hours. So a 1,000,000 point game is going to take 5 hours to do. So if you think about it, it's a 5 frog game. Regulation settings is 5 frogs plus the bonus, so 6 frogs. So you have to make, in my 1.2 million game, 6 hours. I had to average an hour per frog. I had to not die but once an hour in order to set that score. So just a little nugget there that you can tell how long the game took just by the score. Alright, so that's time. Alright, I've already done the 5 levels and explained 5 levels. So for instance, you know this is level 5 because there are 4 cars close together. We'll go ahead and review. No, we won't. You can go back and look at game lesson 1 on that. But there are 5 levels. So if I, for instance, if I go to level 5, we'll quickly finish level 5 here, and then show you that it loops back to level 1. This is level 5. Level 3 here. This might be challenging. I'm going to have to wait another lap because the snakes. The snakes were affecting me there. So not a problem, really. So let's see. And you notice there's a gator there, but it was only in the warning stage. So I was able to jump in there. Let's go here. Okay. One left, so level 5. The point of this is to show you that you can loop back around from level 5 to level 1. Level 5, okay, and now there you go. Now traffic is back to just one race car. Logs, all logs up there. And so 5 levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forever and ever and ever. Never to stop. However, just because you went from 5 to 1 doesn't mean you've completed the complete loop. No, because speeds change. There are a total of 9 speeds. Okay, 9 different speeds. So let's go ahead and review all the 9 speeds. Okay, so if we start the game, let's go ahead and start the game. So start a brand new game. This is speed 1. I call this speed initial slow. Okay, this is the most basic speed there is. Everything is going pretty slow. For instance, if you look at these cars right here, this car right here, this is the slowest moving thing in the game. Period. Nothing moves this slow again. These race cars down here, sports cars, they are the slowest thing. Nothing, like I said, nothing moves that speed again. Just this. Okay, so this is speed 1, where all the traffic is going really slowly, and most of these things are going moderately speedy. These large logs are going very fast. Matter of fact, these large logs are going at the same speed as the race cars go when the race cars are going fast. So I'm pretty sure I should probably check that. I'll check that. This is speed 1 right here. Okay, and oh look, it changed. Now the race car is going fast. So now this is speed 2. This is speed 2, where the race car is going fast. So I should talk about the race cars. The race cars alternate. Slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast. So speed 1 is slow, speed 2 is fast, speed 3 is slow, speed 4 is fast, speed 5 is slow, speed 6 is fast, speed 7 is slow, speed 8 is fast, and 9 is slow. And then when it goes from 9 to 1, it's also slow. So it's slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow at 9, and then back to slow. Just the race cars. Okay, and they actually do alternate between 2 fixed speeds. All the other things are a little more. They definitely have different characteristics. So again, let's start back at level 0 here. So everything is moving really slow. Right? Now level 2. Things are a little bit faster, especially the race cars. But other than the race cars, there's nothing truly exceptional about the speeds of anything. Everything else is moving kind of just what I would consider an average speed. Everything's moving along. This is speed 2, which I don't even have a name for it. This speed is the most common speed. You'll spend more time on this speed than any other speed. And it's also, I think that it's the easiest speed, kind of the standard speed of the game. You get here pretty quickly, and then you can get through multiple sets of 5 screens on this speed before it changes to speed 3. But because we're not going to spend that long time, we're going to go directly to speed 3 now. And we can see here's speed 3. I call this middle slow, because you'll notice all of the traffic, nothing is running exceptionally fast in the traffic. And actually nothing is running exceptionally fast in the river either. So that's why I just call it middle slow, because there's nothing truly exceptional about it. Nothing to cue in on, except that things aren't moving, nothing's moving fast. So it's middle slow. The reality is things are moving faster than they are at the first level. The first level, things are moving even slower. Especially the top row of, for instance, let's go, alright, so see how fast the top row of gators and logs are moving, the very top row? They're going across at a pretty average clip. The same, they're actually in lockstep with the long logs. The top row and the long logs are in lockstep, and they're moving at a pretty decent clip. But if we go here, okay, this is speed 1. This is initial slow. The top row of logs are moving even slower here, I think. Yeah. The exceptional thing about the first one is that the long logs are moving quickly. So that's how you can tell the difference easily between middle slow and initial slow. I should have printed off my page. I have a timing chart. Did I print it off? Whole points. No, I didn't print it off. That was silly, I think. Alright, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'll put it up later at another class. Next class, I'll talk about it specifically. All right, so that's 3. So let's go to speed 4. Okay, let's go to speed 4. This is speed 4. 4 is, I call fast bulldozers, because the bulldozers are moving at a pretty good clip down here. Everything else is, remember, this is speed 4, so it's an even speed. So the race cars are moving fast. But at this speed you can tell because these bulldozers are really cruising. That's the main thing to notice about that. Also, the top level of turtles is also really cruising along really fast. So that's speed 4. Speed 5, the bulldozers are slowed down, but the purple cars are now moving fast. And of course this is an odd level, so the race cars are going slowly. Race cars go slow on the odd levels, fast in the even levels. So they're going slowly, but on level 5, the purple cars are going fast. Okay. And as I pointed out in the last class, while they are moving fast, the frog can keep up with them. The frog's not going to get outpaced by the cars. You can go fast enough to stay with the purple cars. So, and that's true for all of these things that move fast, except for the race cars. Race cars, you will get squished. They will catch you and they will squish you. But on all the other levels, the fast-moving vehicles can be kept up with. Now, I'll be honest with you, I really would not recommend, and we'll talk about this later, but for instance, on these purple cars, I would not recommend trying to get where there isn't a gap, like here, and keep up. That's very, very risky. Very, very risky. Alright, so that was level 5. Let's go to level 6. Alright, this was level 6. Level 6, if you look, that top level of trucks, top level of trucks is moving very, very quickly. And So this is fast. This is what I call fast trucks. But again, I can keep up with them. Okay, they're moving at the fast pace. Okay, so this is level 6, fast trucks. Okay, it's an even level, so the race cars are going fast, and the trucks are going fast. Okay, now let's go to 7. Actually, let me look here. 7. So 7 is fast small logs. So everything looks. This is yet another slow level, like levels 1 and 3. And so I had to figure out some way to be able to distinguish between them. And the way I did that is by noticing that the small logs are faster than the fast logs. So when you're on this level and you're like, what level is this? Because I forget. To be perfectly honest with you, I will be playing a game and I will forget where I'm at until a key moment arrives, and I have to figure it out quick. So these small logs are going faster than the fast logs, and so I call this level, this is level 7, speed 7, I call it fast small logs. So that's the only thing that's really identifiable here. Okay. So let's go to 8. Okay, 8 looks very similar to 4, with the bulldozers that are going very fast. Okay, the difference. Well, all right. Let's go back to 8 again. 8. Yeah, doesn't stay. So 8 doesn't stay around very long. 8 is one of the shortest lived levels, so I might have to reset a bunch. So 8 is, again, fast bulldozers, not to be confused with level 4, which is also fast bulldozer. I call this fast bulldozers 2. So the way you can tell the difference between fast bulldozers and fast bulldozers 2 is if you look at the top row of logs and the long logs. So the top row of logs is moving slower than the long logs. But if I go to 4, the top row of logs and the long logs are at the same speed. So that's how you can distinguish between the two, because the race cars are moving fast, the bulldozers are moving fast in both. The long logs are moving faster than the short logs, but if they're in lockstep, the long logs and the top row of logs, then that's level 4. If they're not in lockstep, then that's level 8. Okay. So that's how you can tell the difference between 4 and 8. Now we get to 9. 9. This is a 9. This is a 9. 7. No, this is 9. 9. If you look at the cars, you'll notice the bulldozer or the purple cars. Purple cars are the ones moving fast now, which we've already seen. This is level 5. Speed 5. Sorry, same level. Not speed. Speed 5 and speed 9 have similar characteristics in terms of the traffic. They're both odd, and so because they're both odd, the race cars are going fast, and the purple cars are going fast in both 5 and 9. Too close to the edge for the R. So how do you tell this one? Well, the difference between 5 and 9 is 5 also has fast small logs. Notice the small logs are faster than large logs. That identifies it as speed 9. These small logs are faster than the logs above it. If we go back to speed 5, here the long logs are much faster than the slow logs. The traffic looks the same, but the log pattern is different. The long logs are going very fast. Short logs are actually going along at a pretty good clip, but not near as fast. In speed 9, the short logs are moving faster than the long logs. So that's how you can tell the difference between 5 and 9. Okay, so those are the 9 speeds. And if I go to, well, it's going to be a challenge to show you, but if you go to 9, this is 9, you can play 9 and it will roll over to speed 1, initial slow. That is the true rollover of the game. Once you get to that speed, then you have almost started over. The only reason I say almost is because at the very beginning, the snakes have a different pattern than later on in the game. So, 9 speeds, 5 levels, and that's the basics of it. 9 speeds. If I waited long enough, it would change over, but I'm not going to bother. Trying to figure out exactly what I want to talk about next. Let's talk about getting through the different levels. Okay? So not the different speeds, but the different levels. Okay, so here's speed 1, level 1. Okay, getting through level 1 is pretty simple. The only thing you have to worry about is the first hole. At speed 1, I have found that sometimes the first hole can be challenging because depending on the speed, the turtles and the top level logs don't line up right, and you end up dying because you fly off the edge. At speed 1, it's not as big a deal. At speed 1, let's go to speed 2. Okay, this is speed 2, level 1. And if I were to go here, for instance, it's like, it's kind of tight to get to it. So it can be a bit nerve-wracking because you're way at the edge of the screen, but you can get it. Okay, level 3. This is speed 3. No, it's not. This is not speed 3. Okay. Apparently I don't have this saved. Speed 4. This is speed 4, level 1. So speed 4, level 1 can be very nerve-wracking because these turtles are going so fast. You can easily get, that's something I need to talk about too. But because these are so fast, you can easily fly off the edge before you get on. So this one is kind of tricky, but if you can get it just right, then you jump on there. You jump up to the upper log to get to the first hole. Okay, the rest of the holes, really not a problem on level 1. I do not have a I do not have any kind of cheats for the first hole. I just have played it enough that I kind of just know which turtles are the right turtles to get on to be able to finish the level, so that I can jump up at the edge and finish it. What I do though, typically, is I have found it can slowly adjust the top two layers will slowly adjust at the very first speed. That around the second or the third hole is where I have found it to mostly be safe to go in. So what I will do is I will go here, and this is very typical. I'll go to a hole right away, and then I sometimes will go to another hole, and now the third hole I will go to the third frog. I'll go to the first hole, because at this point they're pretty well lined up. So that's level 2. If I go to level 3, no, that was level 2. If I go to level 4, for instance, there's level 4. I will. This is what I typically do. I will go to there, and then go to. See, that's really dangerous. There, like that, something like that. Let's try level 4 again. Speed 4. Speed 4, level 1. Sorry, I keep saying that wrong. Speed 4. So go here, like I did before. Pick that up. See, it's too scary. It wasn't right. I'll explain that here in a minute. So let's go to the third one. Back a little bit of back and forth there, but I was able to get to that first hole. It's kind of challenging. So the problem you run into, which you've seen several times already here, is if you try to get to the first hole, you might be on some turtles that results you in having to jump at the very edge of the very left-hand edge of the log or gator, and then there is an otter waiting right off the edge of the screen. You can't see it, but it's there, and it'll kill you. Which is really kind of nasty of the game to do that, because it's very annoying. But you have to. It's best to not only wait for things to line up, but it's also best to wait for things to line up that do not end up at the very edge of the gator or the log, the very left-hand edge, because then you might get hit by an otter. And as I said earlier, the world record score, I had to get 100,000 points on each frog. Well, it would probably have killed me at least more than once every 100,000 if I weren't very careful and cognizant to not jump on the log at the very left-hand edge to go in the first hole. It's a huge risk that you can avoid once you play it long enough and you understand the patterns of it. Now, of course, the patterns get all goofed up because the snakes decide to do various different things. And I think that's about as close as you're going to get to the gator's mouth. So, let's see. Let's do speed 6. So this is speed 6. No, this is speed 5. 7. This is speed 5. This is not speed 6. This is speed 7. Apparently I don't have these saved. I thought I had these saved, but it doesn't. It's not showing. Error, failed to load state. Oh. 7. Error, failed to load state. Huh, that's interesting. Okay. I guess I don't have those. And I also don't have 8 or 9. So, unfortunately, I can't demonstrate those. Sorry. But you understand the point. Is to that first hole. Again, I typically wait until the second or third. Typically, there's 1 or 2 speeds where I get there right away. But typically, I wait until the second or third hole to get the first hole. I just think that things align a little better if you let them settle out for a little bit. It seems silly, but I have found that to be the safest way to do it without dying. All right, level 2 though. If we go to level 2, so this is initial slow, level 2. This one you typically can just get right off the bat. It's only level 1 that's a problem. So let's go. So that was level. Let's go to 2. So this is speed 2 level. Oh, this is speed 2 level 1. That's right. I don't have level 2 saved, so I got to get through level 1. I don't think I really want to. So speed. So just take my word for it. Level 2. The first hole's a lot easier, and then again, holes 2, 3, 4, 5 are pretty simple. So let's talk about level 3. This is level 3. This is speed 2, level 3. The first hole. So level 3 is when here. Let's review this. Let's review this. Level 1. This is level 1, so the top logs, there are 3 logs at the top. Oops. Alright. Good heavens. 3 logs at the top on level 1. Again, I don't have level 2 saved, so I'm going to have to breeze through this real fast for you. Level 1, notice I was on the second frog and everything lined up beautifully for me, or second hole rather. Okay, here we go. Level 2, this is level 1. Okay, this will be level 2. So there were 3 logs on level 1 and there are 3 logs on level 2. So at the top, the very top logs. The top logs do not change. The same ones. So occur at levels 1 and 2. 3 logs up there. Okay. Level 3, however, this is level 3. Level 3, one of those logs disappears up there, up at the top. So I have been thrown off many a time by getting stuck on a set of turtles that I think is going to work, only to have it not work because that third log is gone. There's only 2 logs. Now, with there only being 2 logs, things seem to sync up a lot better. The pattern between the 2 logs at the top and the turtles below it, they seem to be in a much better synchronization, meaning they're going to repeat, if not every lap, every 2 laps you'll get a repeating pattern, which is really nice because there's a little bit more certainty with them. So you can, by the time you get to level 3, you can get that first hole, believe it or not, I think easier than level 1, level 3. So now if we go to level 4, let's go level 4. So this is 2, 4, speed 2, level 4. Still two logs up there. The logs haven't changed at the top. The top row of logs is still the same, and they're still in sync. There are fewer turtles. Level 3 has more turtles than level 4. I think by one set. But it's still the first hole isn't really super duper challenging. Just don't get on the turtles thinking that first log is still going to be there. Or I mean, the third log is still going to be there, because you kind of get in the groove with the first 3 levels. No, first 2 levels of all 3 logs, and then by the time the third level comes along, you get kind of you get spoiled, and then the log's gone, and you find yourself in the middle of nowhere with nowhere to jump. All right, so now we're going to get to level 5. Level 5 only has 1 log at the top. So level 5 becomes very challenging. So levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all pretty much the same. That's not true. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant to say. Level 1, 2, 3, and 4, I just play them because I have enough practice. I don't have any, other than what I've already disclosed, I don't really have any other tricks. Level 5 is where really start to employ some tricks. So, for instance, I'm going to show you level 5. I'm going to show you level 5, speed 3. Okay? This is level 5, speed 3. So if we cruise along up here, and we get up here, okay, so we go here, and we're like, okay, so now, level 5, now if we watch, now that we're up here, watch the log, the gator, is at that sinking set of frogs. So you have to get to that sinking set of frogs. I ran out of time because I didn't make it to that sinking set of frogs. Let's run that level again. So if you don't, so let me this time. So this sinking set right here, no, not that sinking set. It's the next sinking set. I have to restart. This is challenging. So I'm actually breaking my pattern here. This is not the way I normally would do it. And I'm doing this for demonstration purposes, obviously. Yep. I don't quite know exactly how to do this. Oh, damn it. Okay, so let's wait. See, I think it's actually that sinking. No, there's another sinking. Here we go. Alright, so then this sinking, you jump here and you jump there. Oh, damn it. Alright, so I missed it. No, I didn't miss it. Okay, so you jump there, you jump over, and then you jump there, and then there was a gator there. That's a perfect example. Actually, I'm glad that worked out. So let me run through this again, and we're going to pay attention to the time. This is important. The time here is important, and this is exactly the risk that you need to try to avoid. So watch the time. So you go here. This is basically the very first opportunity I have to get to this first hole. Okay. So, and look, it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 2 seconds. So 2 seconds. Trust me on this. No, 3 seconds, actually. Sorry, 3 seconds. I would have been able to make it with 3 seconds to spare. But a gator came out and blocked it, which means I didn't even have time to go to the second hole to recover. So if you try to get that first hole on the very first, try to get the first hole first, you're going to get in, you could get in trouble because a gator might come out like it did here. Now, this is a really good place for me to stop and talk about, actually it's a really good place for me to stop because it's been an hour. I've been talking for over an hour. So I think I need to cut my class over here. I didn't hear the bell. So I need to stop here and pick this up next week. So we'll pick this up next week, and I will. It's a really good place to stop. I will talk about level 5. Okay, I've gone through levels 1 through 4. I'll talk about level 5 next week. And I apologize for this being on Sunday. I meant for it to be on Saturday, but I had other plans yesterday. And so I couldn't do this yesterday. So here it is today. But in order to prevent this class from going on too long, I'm going to quit here, and I'll pick this up next week. So thank you all for viewing, and we'll see you next week. Bye. All right. Bye-bye.